An atom is the smallest particle of an element that has the chemical properties of that element. Atoms are made up of protons and neutrons in the nucleus, with electrons orbiting around this nucleus. The word atom comes from the Greek word for indivisible, because it was once thought that atoms were the smallest things in the universe and could not be divided. We now know that atoms are not the smallest things in the universe, but they are the smallest things that have the chemical properties of an element. The structure of an atom helps to explain its chemical properties. For example, the number of protons in the nucleus determines what element an atom is. Atoms of the same element have the same number of protons in their nucleus, but they can have different numbers of neutrons. This means that they have different masses, but they still have the same chemical properties. The number of electrons in an atom determines how it will interact with other atoms. Atoms tend to want to have full outer shells of electrons, so they will either gain or lose electrons to achieve this. Losing electrons makes an atom more positive, and gaining electrons makes an atom more negative. This explains why some atoms are attracted to each other and why some atoms repel each other. Atoms can also bond with each other by sharing electrons. This is how molecules are formed. The structure of an atom is important in understanding its chemical properties, but it is also important in understanding its physical properties. For example, the electrons in an atom are constantly moving around the nucleus. This means that atoms are constantly in motion. The way that atoms move explains why some materials are solid, some are liquid, and some are gas. Atoms in a solid are held close together and are not able to move around very much. This is because the electrons in the atoms are unable to move around very much. Atoms in a liquid are able to move around more, but they are still held close together. This is because the electrons in the atoms are able to move around more, but they are still attracted to the nucleus. Atoms in a gas are not held close together and are able to move around freely. This is because the electrons in the atoms are not attracted to the nucleus and are able to move around freely. Thanks for watching.